All righty, he is here. The A's Hall of Famer, the three-time World Series champion. I've been talking about his resume. He's done everything in baseball except be an owner, and that is right around the corner. The great Dave Stewart is with us here in Nashville. How are you, Stu?
I'm doing good, Tony. I'm doing good.
I mean, we have talked. I was telling the audience, when you do, we've done so much TV together, and we spend all that time, and I've gotten to see so much, and we've talked about so much. It wasn't till we landed, and I got to really see Nashville over the weekend that I went, this is what Dave was talking about. I was on the rooftop bar of Luke Bryan's place, and I'm looking down, and I'm seeing everything, and I'm like, Stu was right. This place is incredible.
It's an unbelievable place. You are here on the weekend, which through the weekend, I don't know that you'll find a more busier place. Maybe Las Vegas could compare. I think maybe years ago. I don't think that Las Vegas is at this level anymore. There's people that are coming here from all over the place. You've got bachelorette parties, and you've just got people that just want to see the city, and embrace the culture, the music, the food. That's what the city is about.
Everywhere you go, there's music everywhere. Like every single restaurant bar has been built up now. So at every level that you go to in one place, they'll have somebody performing. The food is unbelievable. There's more cranes in downtown building. It's true economic growth. You're seeing a city. We talk, unfortunately, so much about cities on the decline. This is a city in our country that is on the up.
There's no doubt about it. And all you have to do is just look towards the sky and do a 360, and you'll see all of the cranes, the buildings that are coming up. The growth of the city is apparent just by being in the downtown area and looking at all the construction that's taking place.
Where are we right now with the Nashville Stars?
Nashville Stars, the baseball.
Yeah.
We're still in a wait mode. Major League Baseball's got some things that they have to do, and Oakland is a part of that. Even though there was a unanimous vote to move to Las Vegas, there's still some stones that haven't been turned over yet in that. And then in Tampa, you've got two potential sites, but no real site that's been decided yet. And so that's got to be taken care of. And the commissioner was always very clear that Major League Baseball will not move forward with expansion until those two cities are taken care of.
Are we closer? I mean, obviously with the A's, we know the situation there. Are we potentially closer with Tampa?
His initial, and when I say his, the commissioner's initial initiative was to try to have some closure on that by the end of the year. I don't think that that's going to happen. And so we just have to, we're in a wait and see. But in terms of closer, I mean, we're closer in the fact that at least we know that they do have two potential sites to build a stadium. And that's a good thing. It's just a matter of settling on that and moving it forward.
Well, your site is already chosen. You're pretty much, I mean, from what I've learned, and I'll let you talk about it, you guys are buttoned up. When the minute they say go, you're ready to go.
We are. Our place of preference is the North Nashville area. We're looking very, very closely at Tennessee State University and some land that is directly across from the university. It's right off the Cumberland River. There's 200 acres there that we can actually do something really nice in the community. Build a community, enhance the area. There are 4 HBCUs, including TSU, American Baptist, Fisk, Meharry, are the universities that are there. And so it's an area. It's Jefferson Street. It's the original Music City. Began there with the musicians and entertainers. They were all there, and the area is quite different now from back in those days, but we hope that we can enhance that area and bring it back to what it used to be.
And I know you're very proud of a minority ownership, owning a Major League Baseball team.
It'll be, first. But we're focused on that, but we're focused on the whole picture. It's minority ownership, diverse ownership, that is the theme of the day. I think Major League Baseball is trying to grow the game, and that is part of their initiative. Last year we had the first HBCU All Star game at the All Star game in Seattle. Next year, in 2024, they're honoring Willie Mays with the Negro League initiative in Mobile, Alabama. And so Major League Baseball is moving in that direction. They're trying to grow the game, trying to get more Afro American patronage at baseball games, both with the adults and youth. And we think that we fit in that scheme of things, and we believe that we can help in a lot of different ways, baseball as well as universally.
And part of your project is actually to help rebuild part of Tennessee State, correct?
Well, they've got a what's getting to be a very, very good football program. Eddie George is the football coach there. Great running back for the Titans
Hall
here.
of Famer, yeah.
And so Eddie George is running back there. I mean, is the coach there. They've been playing football at the Titan Stadium, and so we'd like to be able to do a stadium for them. They have a hockey program now. And so we'd like to, be able to make a multi-use of their basketball facility, and also make it a facility that they can play hockey at. And then
Tennessee State has hockey.
that's right. We got hockey. Believe it or not.
Snow around here? When's the last time you
Yeah.
see snow around here?
And so, we really just, it's a 100-year-old university, and there's a lot that's needed. More importantly, we want to give value to the educational piece of it as well as the entertainment, and bring that college back to what it was and what it should be, as one of the oldest HBCUs in the country.
No, it's I mean, everything is just a great story. It's absolutely a great story. And I can't wait because the commissioner will talk here at the meetings. And since we are in Nashville, I'm sure a lot of the local media is going to ask some questions. I think we're going to have we're going to have the commissioner talking about this quite a bit.
Well, I mean, he's going to definitely talk about, baseball in Nashville for sure. Whether he brings up the name the Nashville Stars, I'm not sure. I've had ongoing conversations with him. I've had conversations with the lieutenant. They are aware of all of the work that's been put in and what we're doing here in Nashville. We want to be partners with MLB and how we put this thing together, so that when we do it the first time, we do it right.
No doubt. And I know your heart was in making things work in Oakland. Didn't work out with you and the city council. It is what it is.
It is. And, unfortunate for me, unfortunate for them. That's my hometown. And one of the things that they questioned, one, was my connection to the community, which, I've always told you, Tommy, that I clearly don't understand that. And the only way that could be said, if if the representatives of the council weren't from Oakland, California. That's the only way that could possibly happen.
When you say that, that hurts me. And I can't imagine what that, as a guy that's born and raised, and everything you did in your life, especially as a player, when you truly had that platform to help people. You don't win the Roberto Clemente Award if you're not somebody who's all about helping others. I mean, it's legendary stories after the earthquake, what you did. To have the Oakland City Council say you're not Oakland enough, it's beyond me.
I mean, there was clearly a not very much knowledge. I'll call it ignorance of exactly what my meaning in the community was and what it has been over the years. And another piece of this, and it's a maybe, but when we talked about the Coliseum property and being able, you heard repeatedly the A's say that being able to do a development at the Coliseum would have given them a possibility to help with the funding at Howard Terminal. But part of that, and this was ongoing, and the council, this was one of their requests, is that the A's would have a relationship with whoever the other party was. And that relationship was already built in, and they still voted against it. And to this day, nothing's happened with that property. And the A's are now in Las Vegas. And so that could have been it could have been a strong possibility with that happening, that the A's would still be a part of the community. So there were missed opportunities in a lot of ways. My my thing has always been similar to what it's been in baseball. If I got a bad start, I'm going to turn the page and get ready in 4 or 5 days and get ready for that next start. And this was turning the page. I've, came here to Nashville. It's a great city. I've been welcomed here. The opportunity to do exactly what I was going to do in Oakland is happening here, with the exception of baseball. Baseball, we believe, is going to happen here still in 28 or 29. But I mean, overall, we get an opportunity to really do something great for the community.
Yeah, and the community is thriving. There is no question about it. And I just said, hey, people got to get to fantasy camp, because I don't know how many more fantasy. I mean, you got a lot going on here. I don't know how many. This might be the last hurrah for you at fantasy camp. You got to get in now.
I've been leaning towards it anyway, Tony, of this being my last one, but not because of baseball related in Nashville. It's just, I'm going to be 67 years old. So when you start looking at the
Dave
numbers,
Stewart's not allowed to get older. You're supposed to always be a 20-game winner.
Man, when you start looking at the numbers and you start clicking that calendar, and then when you start getting up in the morning, especially at those fantasy camps, I start feeling like some of the fantasy campers, whereas before I felt like I was an athlete. I'm starting to feel like the fantasy campers now, and I might have to start spending some time in the training room. So before that happens, I got to call it retirement.
Oh, man. But that's why I get in, because he is going to be there this year at fantasy camp. We will all be there. Make sure that you're there. We've had some talks. I don't know if we've done this on air or not, but with all the talk with Shohei Ohtani going on, you have such a great perspective as a former agent, as a former general manager. But I think as a former Toronto Blue Jay, as someone was assistant GM for the Blue Jays, and as a player who won a World Series with the Toronto Blue Jays, I don't know if we've talked about this on the air or not. You loved living in Toronto. You loved it. And, all this time leading up before then, everybody talked about, well, it's the Dodgers are the team, and can San Francisco come in, or Seattle, or what about the big boys in the East, the Yankees, the Mets, maybe the Red Sox, throw in the Chicago Cubs, all these different teams. The Blue Jays really weren't talked about. But then I thought about, knowing what we've talked about, how much you love living there, what a great international city. He is an international star. And I've been talking about Stu, like, he's like Tom Cruise. Like, you want the movie to be a success. You want to make a lot of money. You put Tom Cruise in the movie, you're going to make a lot of money. Domestically, you're going to make a lot of money internationally. When you have that kind of star, he's different from regular players, because you're going to make a lot of money on him internationally. What do you think? What you know about Toronto? What do you think about that fit for Ohtani?
Well, I think it's a great city. There's a large Asian population, but the truth is, there's a large population of everything in Toronto. It's a very, very diverse population of people, and they embrace being Canadians, one. But two, they embrace baseball. There have been championships there, and I'd be remiss without saying deeply saddened that Cito Gaston wasn't inducted into the Hall of Fame. A great manager for that team, back-to-back championships, and so there's a growing history of baseball in that community. They're a great young team, one of the best young teams I think playing baseball at this time. And I think he's a great fit for that city, a great fit for that town, a great fit still continuing in the game of baseball. I mean, he's just great. There's nothing that doesn't fit for Ohtani in Toronto, Ontario.
You get the whole country. I mean, it's already like he's made his mark here in the United States. He already dominates Asia. Now you get the whole country of Canada. I mean, it's like it now makes sense.
It's just unbelievable. If they can pull it off, I think that it would be a tremendous grab for Toronto and for the country. And once again, Ohtani will now carry himself into a different place, a different atmosphere. He's already in rare air when it comes to the game of baseball. Unfortunately, he won't pitch next year, but he's still a tremendous hitter and a great offensive player. And then once he's able to pitch, I think it's just going to be tremendous.
So you are representing the A's today to try and get the number 1 pick in the draft.
Yes.
We brought in the big hitter, Dave Stewart. We brought in the big guns to bring in the number 1 pick. That's a lot of pressure, Stu.
Hey, man, I'm looking forward to it. And I just told him, man, I've been lucky all my life. So if this doesn't happen, if we don't get the number 1 pick today, don't blame it on me. Blame it on the move to Vegas.
Don't put it on me. Are you excited about this? It's going to be fun, right?
I am excited. When I got the call and was asked to be a part of this, I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. And then I started hearing more that it's the lottery. And I'm saying, first I was thinking Rule 5 draft. Why would you have me come here and pick you a major league player for the Rule 5 draft? And then it became more apparent that it was about the lottery. And I'm really excited about it. I feel very, very strongly that we'll be able to pull off this number 1 pick. We were talking about there hasn't been a number one since Rick Mundy,
the first draft,
and so I'm excited about the opportunity to hopefully put a number 1 pick in our sights for the upcoming year.
Well, as a former GM, you know how big that number 1 pick is, so it's really big. But I've said to you before, I've been very fortunate in my life and my career to do a lot of things. But one of the things that's been one of the highlights of my career is doing television with you and sitting down and watching the games and learning from you and just picking your brain about all the things about the game and about life and about business. We talk a lot about business. And, it was when I first got here on Saturday and then Sunday going to the NFL game. And I'm just like, everything you talked about was right in front of me. I was like, I see your vision. I see this town. I see the growth. What you're doing here, I can't wait to see. It's going to be spectacular. It's going to immediately be one of the best spots, one of the best, we talk about we're the best trips in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
It's immediately going to be the biggest hit in baseball.
People have already talked about, Nashville, and players have voted this the number 1 place that they'd want to play. But to really grasp and understand what this city is about, you have to spend some time here. You won't meet better people walking the streets. There's great food here. I can't say better food because I would be slighting my mom's hometown, New Orleans. But there's great food here. There's entertainment, even in the airport. I don't know if when you came in that there were musicians that played throughout the airport.
Yeah,
and so
there's music everywhere.
So if you miss your flight, don't be offended that you missed it. Just get another one, but sit down, have a drink, have some food, and listen to great music, even at the airport. It's just an unbelievable place to be.
Yeah, the barbecue here is amazing, Stu. You're gonna have to make sure you're getting your workouts in.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because when I got brisket and I got ribs, I mean, it's like every meal I'm like, man, I Tony, I can put up some weight quickly in this spot.
Tony, you got that frame where, man, you can eat. You've got your metabolism runs enough that you can eat as much as you want to and burn it. Brother, remember, I just told you I'm going to be 67. I can't afford to eat like that anymore.
Do you know how many hush puppies I can whiff? I was woofing down hush puppies. I'm like, more. All right. I've seen it. I believe it. I'm so happy for you. I want it to happen now. I know it's patience. It's take time, but thank you for stopping by. We know how big this event being here is big for you and your group. And just having you on is always an honor.
Man, I appreciate you having me.